Okay, so so while I'm recording, please keep your mic muted and also your camera off. And then I'm gonna give time in between segments so you can unmute yourself to ask questions, or better yet, use your Slack to ask questions right here on classes. You can ask questions in the chat too. But I'm gonna give you chances to ask questions. So the first thing we have to do is make sure you have your hand out, because it's good to have in case that gives you more context of what we're doing. And then go ahead and open your Excel. So I'm gonna I already have open my Excel online, and try to follow what I do while you are here. It's we human learn by doing it. So try to do it while I'm doing it, and then if you get behind, you can watch the recording or let me know, and I'll try to redirect you. But I want to encourage you, everybody, to hands-on try to replicate what I'm doing while we have the class. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So the first thing we're gonna do is, if you have your Excel open, click here with a new book. And I get this because I'm using an incognito window. So you might not have this. So let me just put my password here. And you should be able to open a brand new Excel worksheet. And you don't have to worry about savings. It's saving to the cloud, so it's saving constantly. So today we're gonna start editing the worksheet and work on the worksheet. So basically Excel is a huge calculator. So we're gonna be doing some math equations here and entering calculations, simple calculations, nothing too complicated. So the first thing I wanted to review, I have placed here. And if you want to join Slack, I have here the link to click Slack so you can join it from here. You just need to have an email, either a Gmail or another kind of email. So one of the things I just want to clarify with the mouse, when you hover over the cells, you might get a white cross. That's to select. In the case of the online of the online Excel, you're not gonna get the same thing. You might get something that is more a black, and it doesn't come as often. But if you have the app that lives in your computer, the full power Excel, you're gonna get this cross. So that's very important in order to so Excel can differentiate what you can do. So try to pay attention what kind of signs you have. You can drag this, like change the location, but most of the time what we're going to do today is select. So if you want to select, you use your left bottom on your mouse, and you're going to click and then hold the mouse, and then you're going to select. That's different than moving a cell. Like I enter the cell. When I get the cross, I hope you can see it. I hold it with my left button too, but I have to get that cross. When I get that cross, that indication, I can change the position, the location of that cell, which is different than selecting. So I want to make that for sure. so you all are aware of that. The other thing I want to show you is to change the width of rows and columns. You can go in between the rows right here on the border, and you're gonna get also like a cross with 2 arrows on the side. You're gonna hold that also with your left button on the mouse. You're gonna hover, kind of like there is a seam between the columns, and you're gonna hover there until you get that cross with the 2 arrows pointing away, and you're gonna use the left button, and you're gonna hold it, and then you can move change the width of any column. Same thing with the rows. You're gonna hover in between the seam between the rows, and you can also find until you get the 2 arrows pointing up and down, and then you can change the width of the arrows of the rows. So on the here you're gonna see the different kind of mouse pointers that you're gonna get in Excel. Also, you can use your number pad. So my keyboard doesn't have it, this keyboard doesn't have it, but most keyboards will have an extra piece here on the right, and you can use the number pad to enter, and that makes the data entry and also calculation much faster in Excel. And you can put the number lock on the number pad and use the arrows, and with the arrows you can navigate very easy, and it saves you risk from using the mouse. So you can use the arrows, and while you learn more Excel, you'll figure out there is a lot more neat tricks that you can use. So today we're gonna enter formulas. So any questions so far? Any questions? No questions, okay. So on Slack, you can let me know, you can just write here any questions, or you can let me know if it goes too fast, too slow. And you can let me know if we're gonna do some exercises here, and I would appreciate you let me know if it works. So we're gonna go to A1, the cell A1, and we're gonna enter our first formula. So the first formula that we're gonna enter is this one here, is 5 plus 2 times 3. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 5. So that's what we're gonna enter exactly as it looks here. So the way you're gonna enter, you're gonna go to A1, the cell A1, and you're gonna find in your keyboard the equal sign. So you find on the keyboard, you're gonna find the equal sign is on the right, or it's in the number pad also. And then the equal sign is what it tells Excel we're gonna enter a formula. So we're gonna do a calculation. So we're gonna enter 5, and you have to make sure you click inside the cell, 5. Then I'm gonna enter plus, and then I'm gonna multiplication of 2 times 3, 2 times 3. So try to do that, and when you're done, you click enter and see if you get the right answer. And then you can also go back to A1, and you can notice there is a box here where it replicates the formula we just entered. And you can also edit here, or you can double click on A1 and you're gonna see the formula show up, and you can edit it here, or you can click enter. So everybody was able to do that. You can let me know in the chat or in Slack. Give me a thumbs up if you were able to do that, or if you want me to repeat it. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, feedback is important. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm going too fast or too slow for you guys. So once you do that, you can also go on your keyboard and you can delete it. So you can find the delete keyboard or the key on your keyboard and try to delete it. And that's how you delete it. And also, if you are writing something and then you notice that you are making a mistake, you can use find the ESC key, which is on the top left of your keyboard, and you can escape, and then you can start again. You can gonna click and click equal, and then you're gonna start again. So 2 plus 5 times, what was it? Times 2 times 3 times 3. Oh, that's something else. So practice doing that, and then we're gonna put another calculation that is not, and then you can also go here to the formula box with your keyboard. You can click on it and you can edit it. So I'm gonna edit this and make it like it was before. Okay, all good. So that's a very simple calculation. And now we're gonna do this formula here. It's a little bit of more complex than what we did. So this, the term on the top is dividing the term on the bottom. So we're gonna do that. So first, you can go to any cell. I'm just gonna go delete this one and go, okay, again to A1, but you can do it in any cell. I'm gonna click equal. And then I'm gonna use parentheses so I can tell Excel what is dividing what. So I'm gonna open a parenthesis and I'm gonna type 1 plus 7, and the 7 is multiplying 5. And then the parenthesis is gonna tell me the whole term is dividing the term underneath. So I'm gonna use division. And then I'm gonna write 5 times 4. And then sometimes you don't have to put the last parenthesis. Let's see, sometimes it doesn't. No, it gives me, I didn't put the last parenthesis, so it gives me an error when it's a red. So I'm just gonna go back and I can go here to my formula bar and click the last parenthesis. So you get an error from Excel will let you know if there is something wrong with your formula. So that's the right answer. So let me know if you all were able to do that. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, if anybody has any problems, let me know too. Okay, so that's the first one, and these are other examples that you want to avoid. So you want to avoid, you got 1-1960. Let's see, did you put the equal here? You have to put the equal. So for example, if I do this, or maybe you have a different, let me do this. If I delete this, what happened? So if I don't put the equal, it's gonna write it like that. It's just gonna have it a formula. You wanna make sure you have here on general. So you're gonna go where it says on the home tab, under number, you wanna make sure you have general and you don't have date. You might have date, and that's the wrong one. You wanna go here on general or number. Okay, so try that and see if it works. So you wanna go home, then the number group, you wanna choose general or number, because you are right now on date. And we're gonna talk about that later. today. So the other ones that, so let me know. So let me know if you fixed it, if you don't get the date anymore. So the other things that could happen if I don't put this parenthesis here, I'm gonna get another different answer because this 4 is gonna multiply all this term. So that's why I put here a parenthesis. So it dividing the whole, this whole term. So if you don't put the parenthesis, then the 4 is gonna multiply this whole term. Then the other things that you have to be careful is if you have too many parentheses, sometimes it is very hard to troubleshoot. So you might have, we're gonna do one next, and you have to be careful that all the parentheses, if you have an open parenthesis, you have a closed parenthesis. And also here, you wanna make sure this parenthesis starts where it's supposed to start. Otherwise, you're gonna have another term adding, so you have a different result here. Okay, so there's little things that to look at. And also one thing is when you start entering your first formulas in a spreadsheet that you're going to be working on, the first formulas that you enter, you need to audit it. So before you apply it to the whole sheet, so you want to make sure your formula is designed correctly before you do a whole sheet with it. So you might want to do a calculator or have somewhere where the answer needs to be, that you know the answer is correct, and make sure they both match before you start applying the whole sheet, because then you'll have a bunch of numbers that to correct. So the next one, we're gonna enter this one. So we have a negative number, a square exponent, a square root divided by 10. So we're gonna, and you can go to any cell, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna open a parenthesis, -2, and then times, and the exponent is with this, on your keyboard above the 6, you're gonna do Shift 6. That's how you put the exponent. So you put 2, because it's 8 to the second power, and then plus, and then you're gonna write a square root. And when you start typing letters, there's gonna be a suggestion here. It's gonna give you a suggestion of what formulas are already safe in Excel. So I'm gonna do this one. So a square root, and you can hover, and it's gonna tell you returns the square root of a number. If I go to this one, this is something different. It's not the right one. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna double click with the mouse, or you can finish writing. I can also type it, SQRT, and it'll remember, it'll find out. So you don't have to double click if you remember what you have to put. So then it's 81. And this is where, this is a parenthesis, but you need to finish with another parenthesis. So if you have to be careful, this parenthesis matches this parenthesis, but this one also has a closing parenthesis. So they have to be pairs. And then I don't have to put parentheses here because it's only one term, and I click enter. So the answer is -11.9. So let me know if you got that or similar. And if you have any, if you need to edit, you can double click here and edit it, or you can go to the formula bar. Okay, awesome. we're moving along. If you have any questions, let me know. And here I put here on the handout some examples of what happens sometimes with parentheses if you don't put the parentheses in the right place. Here also I have a summary of the different errors. We haven't seen errors here, but you might encounter them in the future. And I just wanted to show you here these are the kind of errors that will show up with formulas and the likely reason. They are not the exact reason. It could be any of these are suggested because a lot of things happen with formulas. So if you have any of these errors showing up in in any of your formulas, here is the a possible solution for that. So most of the time it's something like if maybe I'm missing, I didn't enter the square root. So no, or maybe I put a letter. Sometimes it's because I put a letter. Yeah, so this is incorrect. So if that's name, so if I put here, yeah, name of the function of variable is not recognized. So I put an A inside square root and Excel doesn't know what that is. So because it's programmed to use numbers. Okay, so any questions about that? And I have here put a clip here that you can watch about everything has to do with errors in Excel. Okay, so now we're going to do cell referencing, and we're gonna start getting a little bit more into programming. So I'm deleting this so it's out of the way, and you can use the delete key. And we're gonna enter, go to A1 and enter the number 5. So these are formulas that we're gonna build so we can reuse it in a later time because there is no help for me to create a complex formula. Then I cannot change what I plug in. So what I'm gonna do is here create a formula where the variables, the things that are plugged in, the values are plugged in, can change. So I don't have to recreate this formula over and over and over. So I'm going to do a simple one. So on A1, type 5, and on A2, type 10. And we're going to do a simple addition. So you're going to click equal on A3 and just write, it doesn't matter uppercase or lowercase, just type A1. And when I say I type A1, you're gonna see that the cell A1, it gets highlighted in purple or blue, and then I'm gonna do A2. So that's calling the cells, the saying, hey, we're gonna use what is inside these cells, and I'm gonna click enter. So that's, if you click here, you're gonna see this formula and it's color coordinated. So A1 refers to this color and A2 refers to the red. So that's a formula, and then I can go to A1 and I can change the number, but the formula remains the same. So you can create this formula, a formula here, and change the values that get plugged in. Okay, so any questions about that? No questions? Okay, so we're gonna go. Yeah, okay, thank you. So we're gonna now do autofill, and autofill is something that we use in Excel a lot, and it saves you time entering formulas. So we're gonna go now to B1, and you can enter any number. Right now, enter any number you want. I'm just gonna enter these numbers, and then I'm gonna go all the way to C. I can keep going, but since we don't have all day, I'm just gonna enter data from A, B, and C. okay? And then I want to have the same formula. I want to have the total of this column and the total of this column. So I can go again and type B1 plus B2, right? But also I can save time, especially imagine if you have more data here that you will have to be equal I1 plus I2 and so on, J and M. But if you have, we're gonna do something called autofill. So in autofill, we're gonna go to the formula that we want to apply. So we want to apply this formula to column B and C. So we're gonna go to this A3, click on A3, and then hover with your mouse to the bottom right corner. Bottom right corner here. And so you don't want to go here, you don't want to go here, you want to go here on this bottom right corner. And when you get there and you see a cross without arrows, you're going to hold your mouse with your the left button on your mouse, and you're going to hold it and don't let go of the mouse. Drag it to the right, and you're going to see that the green cells are highlighted. And then when you get to C3, you let go. So what you're going to have here, the formula that we have here, which is A1, A2, now is B1 plus B2. And then we have C1 plus C2. And as we keep going, we can do autofill all the way here. We can go M1 plus M2. So it keeps the formula, it keeps the pattern that we built here. We built here the first cell plus the second cell added together. And this is what it's doing. It's doing the first cell, the second cell on that column are gonna be added, and so on and so on. So even if I enter here, it's gonna do the calculation. So this 0 appears because we have no data here, but it's waiting for data. So you can add that data in the future and the formula stays there. So that saves you time if you wanna make a calculation for the future and you know that you're gonna add data, you just do the autofill and you know that it's already saved there. Okay, any questions about the autofill? And I have here a video that shows also what I did. And you can keep going all the way to D3 and you can enter data here. And I just enter random numbers. Okay, any questions about the autofill? I'm curious about if everybody was able to do it. Okay, so okay, good, because that's so for is I find that like it's one of the things that people had trouble with doing, but you all are doing great. Thank you. So the next thing we're gonna do a little budget. I have placed on the here on the class handout, I have placed a file that I pre-fill. So you can go here to the handout and click on this file that it says Excel 1 My Budget Demo. You click on that file and it's gonna download to your computer. When it downloads, it's gonna go, you're gonna see it showing up here at the bottom of your browser maybe, but most likely you can find it on the download files in your computer. So if you have the class handout handy, click on that file. And for me, it went here to this corner, but everybody has a different browser. So it'll work different for everybody. So after that, you're gonna find it on your download files, most likely. Every computer is different, so I don't know how your computer is mapped, but mine, it goes to the downloads. And then we're gonna upload that file into our Excel online. So you're gonna go here where it says Excel. And there is something here to the right of the screen. It says upload. And you can click here and go to your download files and find the file you downloaded. Or better yet, you can find a window where that is located and you can also drag it and it's gonna upload. So try to do that. So we're doing a couple things. We're uploading. The file is on the class handout under 1.5. So if you go to the class handout, you're gonna see there is a file here under 1.5 point 2. The handout, they're either in Slack or they are on the chat. Let me put it back again. So there it is, the handout for everybody. And you can click, go to 1.5 and find the file, this my budget, and you can open it on your Excel. So you can just go here click on this grid here and find Excel, and you can upload it. After you download it, you upload it, you find it here, or you can also drag it from a window. You have this window where you have all your files, your file management window, and you can just drag it here to the Excel and it's gonna upload. And that's how you upload files into Excel. And if you have an Excel app already working that is not online, you can click on the file and it'll open on Excel immediately. Okay. So everybody should have this here. So let me know when you are here, you open your My Budget. Okay, good. Some people were able to do it. So once you have it there, go ahead and start filling it out. Any numbers you want. You know, you can give just a salary of whatever you want, $10,000. And then in expenses, whatever you want to put in expenses. 500 and 2,500. Okay, so just make sure you have some numbers here under salary, food, clothes, utility, car, and mortgage payment. Okay, so once you open it, just fill out any random numbers you want to give you. And let me know when you get there. Okay. So everybody was able to put values here. Okay, good. So now we're gonna do, we're gonna do the total. So we can do a total by how we did it before. So we can go to B14 and enter equal, and we can do, what is it? B9 plus B10 and so on. We can do that, right? We can do B11, but you can see this is not very efficient, right? And I already made a mistake there. And B13. So you can do that. This is what we just learned how to do. Or we can just go here. And if you have the menu like I have it, go here to the right bottom corner and click on this caret. And you're going to see the full ribbon. And you're going to go, mine is too big and that's why you can't see it, but it's there. Okay. You're going to go to home. Then you're going to go to Autosum. So you make sure you click on B14. So you have to be on B14, then find home, the home tab, and then the editing group, you're going to find a Sigma, and you're going to click Autosum. Just click on the icon, and you're going to get the Autosum already for you. So you don't have to click, you don't have to enter like I did before, B9 plus B10. So it takes everything above or where you end, where your cursor is located. It's gonna assume that is what you want to add. So once you do that, you click enter. Okay, and then you can put here on B14, A14, you can type total, so you know that's total expenses. Okay, and now we want to do saving. So anybody knows how to do that? Any suggestions how to do the savings?
B6 minus B14.
B6, okay, let me type it. Equal B6
minus
minus
B14.
B40 or B14?
40. 1 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's correct. So that's how we do the savings. So if you click here, you're gonna see that is what it gets selected. So that's how, because you cannot do the Autosum, so that's what you can do for this case. So now you can put here, you have savings, and then we can go here to January. So go to B4, and we're gonna do an auto. It's an autocomplete, but it's an autofill. So we're gonna go here to January, and you're gonna find also that cross on the bottom right corner, and you're gonna hold it with your mouse on the left bottom, and you're gonna drag it all the way to maybe N. No, N was too much. So we delete the extra January. So now you can see we can also get a sequence for the month. So the autofill also work for series like months. So we already got all the months, so we can go and do our budget for the next month. So for the next month, we can go and you can enter numbers here. I'm not gonna do all the numbers, but you can enter numbers here, and then you can do an autofill for the other calculations. So no total expenses. So the total expenses, we can do an autofill and drag it all the way to December. And then for the saving also, we're gonna do an autofill. So if I have already my information for November, I can enter this and it's already programmed in this Excel sheet how we're gonna calculate the expenses in the savings. Okay, so that's already programmed. It's taking the sum for L, so good. So that's how we do that. Also, you can copy formulas. So for example, if I don't want to do an autofill, I can take this formula and I can do copy and I can put it here, which is not an adjacent cell, and I can go here to home, paste, and paste it. And it took the formula and then I click escape. So all those ants stop running around. So this formula now is here, but it's no B, is L. So it takes the letter, the column where it's applied. So you can copy formulas. You can do Control C and then go to June and Control V as a Victor. And it's taking that formula. Okay, so that's how you copy formulas. Now we're gonna do something a little bit different. It's called absolute referencing. So that's to avoid that we're not gonna have a fixed value, a fixed cell, an anchor cell. So if you have the handout, you're gonna click here on this file, in this link here. So go ahead and click on that link and you're gonna get this file. I hope so. If everything works out, you click on this file and you're gonna get the file that I want you to work on. So I'm gonna copy here, but you can just click on it. And did I do the right one? No, it took something else. Copy link address. It didn't work for me, but it should work for you. If not, I'll put it back again. There it is. So there it is. So you should be able to click on this, on the link on the handout is under point 1.9 absolute cell referencing, and click on this link. So was everybody able to open this? And when you click that, you're gonna have this sheet here. So let me know if that worked. You were able to open that Excel sheet. So you go on the class handout 1.9 and you click on this link here under 1. You should be able to click and it's gonna open. Okay, so somebody told me it worked, so I'm confident it worked for everybody. So now what we're gonna do is we had to calculate the total sales. So on the total sale, we cannot do an autofill because the total sale is the quantity sold times the unit price. And when we do the autofill, it's gonna go like this, columns and columns. So for example, if I do the auto, I'm gonna show you what the wrong way to do this. So I'm gonna do A times 9, which is the price of unit price. Let me change this to general for now. So if I do the autofill, this is referring to F2. This one is referring to F6. So we need to stop this F for moving. We need to anchor it to one place. So what we're gonna do is go to the formula and we're gonna use absolute reference, which is done by using $. So you're gonna put a $sign before the F and a $sign after the F, and then you click enter. So go ahead on C2, write B2 times $. So I'm gonna put it on a Slack or in the chat, so you know what I'm talking about. So that's the $signs is gonna be able to anchor the cell, and then you're going to be able to do this. So when you get your file, since everybody is in my file, make sure you might want to save it with another name. Save it on the own OneDrive as with your initials, because otherwise I think otherwise, so save it here. Oh, go here on Excel, on the part which says Excel, and let's put your initials. So you can go ahead, because right now everybody's in my file. So you can do that for now, but you should be able to save it to another file, a file that is yours, like make a copy, maybe. Yeah, you can rename it, or you can save it with another name, so we're not all in the same one. But for now, it'll work. So that's the way you do absolute reference. You can also, the way, if you want $signs, you go to home, and under numbers, you choose currency, and there are other choices too. And then you can select all this and go here to currency. And you can add more decimals by going to home, number, increase decimals, or if you want to decrease the decimals, you just go to the next icon and you can decrease all the decimals. And there is more choices here that you can play around. Okay, so try that. I'm just going to erase this so you can try it. See if you can do the absolute referencing. Okay, so the other thing I'm gonna make, so not everybody's in the same file. Okay, so the other thing we can do is make it pretty. So I didn't bring the other thing. So equal times F1. F1. Okay, so how is it going? Is it working? Kind of. So the other way is how to format this so it looks better. So this is a table. You can select the table, go here to home, find the font group, click here where it says borders, and choose a kind of border. I'm going to choose this one, all borders. And then you get that. You can also choose thick borders outside, and there are other ways you can choose colors, and it goes different ways. So you can choose the colors here, or say I'm drawing this. But the fastest way, if you don't want this, is to select everything and play around with the choices that you have for borders. You can also do a fill color, and you can change the color of the font. Yeah, cool. So some people are getting very ingenious with that. And the last thing we're gonna do is printing, saving, and sharing. So you're gonna go here to File, and you're gonna go here, Print. and it's going to give you a preview how it's going to print. And then make sure you choose the active sheet. If you choose the current selection, it's going to print only whatever you selected, and the entire book is going to print everything on the book, all the sheets that you have on the workbook. So if you print the active sheet, it's just going to print the sheet that where you're working. And if you have more, you put the entire book, you're going to see that there is more stuff to print. But I don't want to print all that. I'm just going to print the active sheet, the letter side, the portrait, and also how you want to, maybe if you have something really big, a table really big, you want to fit it on one page. The other way to do this is you go to File and you Save As, and you download a copy. So this copy will go in your computer, and then you can open it if you have Excel, but you have to have Excel in your computer. Also, there is a way to save it on PDF, but I think you have to have the PDF. You have to have the, let me make this smaller. When this is too big, I cannot see everything. You can also have the choice to print it to PDF. And here, for mine, it shows up as one of the options because I don't have a printer connected. So when you print it to PDF, then you don't need to have Excel on your computer. And see, it'll print to PDF. And the other thing I want to show you is you go to File, is the Share option. So, well, save it. You can save it. If you save it as, it will be saved on the cloud. You can rename it and put some other name. You can download a copy to your computer. Print, sharing. So sharing is what I just did. I just gave you a link. In that link, anybody can access the file. But the question is whether you want people to edit it or just view it. So if you say anyone with a link can view it, so you can give a link that only people can view. If you want to change it to editing, which is what I gave you just now. So anybody you give this link to, either by email or any other way, you put in a website or something, anybody can edit this one. You can also apply the password, but you have to have the premium feature. And also you can email it to people, but from your email, from your Outlook. So you can put here an email. You can put any email you want, and it'll email that person. But you have to make sure that you give them the right access. You want to edit or you want to view it. If you put edit, anybody can edit your file. If you want view it, then they can only view it, they cannot edit it. So you can send that and file, and you can write a message and then you send it. And then they send you that and it'll show, let me see if I can get my email here to show how it looks like. Yeah. So this is the email I just sent, and it's gonna look like that. It says, so that's the link. It's not an attachment, it's a link to get to that file.